Welcome. This is going to be a hunting or fishing video or a similar thing from Rob Goebel, aka Archery Rob. And this is part of sustainability. If you can't provide for yourself, then how free are you really? On to the video. Alright, so I'm back again, and this one's about hunting. This past Sunday, I went out and shot my first deer of the season. I shot a doe. Mainly because I got a buddy that's got a shoulder replacement done. He can't hunt, so I'm going to shoot a couple deer from him. And this is the setup I use. I use a Killer Instinct, and I use their Killer Instinct arrows. First off, the preface, I had initially set up this crossbow with pile drivers from Carbon Express, and shot great with field points. And when I got to using broadheads, wildly off. Like I was using G5 Montex, wouldn't it could be 4 inches off or more easily at 20 yards, and couldn't figure out what was wrong with it. What I did find out was that it's actually spine. Spine matters heavily, even with your crossbow bolts. They'll shoot fine with until you put a broadhead on it. And in the broadhead, the more this flexes, just like a regular arrow, the more these blades can catch the wind, and then they'll drift off. And I guess it just depended on which direction to drift off on as it flexed, which direction the broadheads were sitting to catch it. And I tried all different kinds of broadheads, even tried rages, and it did still had a lot of problems with them. Even they were just enough I got to catch it, and it just was still a problem. But I had a lot of problems with rages. Had 2 failed opens, and lost those deer, and went off onto the G5 Montex for a while, and then I finally had settled on using this. Let me put it with the white behind me. This is the Muzzy HBX. It has 2 fixed blades on it that are over 1.125 or over about 1 inch, I guess. So they meet routing standards and most state standards. And then it has these here, and as soon as these catch on the hide of the animal, they open up. And if they hit bone, they can push down. And then they can get pushed back open as they hit more resistance when they go in. Actually, I've not lost a deer yet with these. And the reason I decided to make this video was I had one of these, and this was the 4th deer I killed with this broadhead. I shot one doe, put it through her, stuck it 12 inches in the ground, pulled it out, and cleaned it up, and then used my Lansky sharpener to resharpen the sides, and then resharpen these. If you put this down, you can hold the angle here, and you can run the Lansky down it. It's a little difficult, but you can get it done. Usually better with a pair of gloves on. But yeah, you can resharpen these and reuse them. And like I said, I put one through 4 deer, and I finally lost it. And I don't know if there was any flaws in the bolt, because I shot the bolt over and over again before I reused it. Never had any trouble with it. But when I shot the deer, it comes in, and it went a little farther right than I had planned on, maybe about 3 inches. And it came in, and apparently it hit the side of a rib on the head side of it. Deer was facing to my left. I hit her on the right of the shoulder, on the left side, on her left side, and then it hit, and then it must have turned 90 or 15, 20 degrees, and hit the far shoulder. It broke the shoulder bone, and the broadhead actually exited. There was a hole for it exiting. But when I shot the deer, I heard the thwack. I mean, I heard a little louder, I think, because the bone broke. sounded louder than usual. It was very good. I heard like a whack and crack at the same time. And I could see this sticking out of the deer. And I'm surprised because every time I've shot a deer with a crossbow, the only time it didn't was the second deer I shot. But I spined an 8-point buck, and it bounced off of his spine as it went past, dropped him right where he was standing. And it bent one of these blades just slightly because as it hit it, it had to go around it, and it couldn't open all the way. And every other time, it's gone completely through. I mean, you hit a deer in the chest with a crossbow, 350 feet per second, and it blows right through. Like I said, it just stuck in the ground 12 inches on the first deer. And it did the same thing with the third doe. And then this doe I shot, I get it broke. So apparently this went in, and as it turned, it must have snapped my bolt. Lost all pieces of it. I couldn't find it. And then it exited. The deer took off like her ass was on fire. I mean, normally they run pretty good, but she took off like her ass was on fire. And I could hear all kinds of sticks breaking, all kinds of things, and she took off. Took me an hour and 15 minutes searching for this. And the deer never bled except the 2 times she fell. I guess she fell because of her broken leg. That was the only blood sign I found. I found some spots where you had to do literally regular tracking. I found some footprints. Ground was really hard. But I found a couple spots where it had been softer and she left some footprints. And where she had slit some leaves. Most of it was pawpaw trees. There's little pawpaw trees growing. There's some bigger pawpaw trees, maybe the size of this arrow. And she broke them because she hit them so hard. She snapped them off. So I found fresh twigs, branches, little trees broken. And that was the only thing I had to trail on. And after an hour and 15 minutes, I was getting frustrated. I was having a hard time figuring she went across through the bedding area, down the hill. She was done somewhere on the flat. I couldn't find her by the creek. And finally, my buddy's son came down with his German short-haired pointer, and wasn't 10 minutes, that dog had her nose on and found that deer, which thank you, Harper, for saving the deer for me. But that was just interesting to find that, that an exit on a shoulder, I guess the muscle stays together I guess all the blood in the chest cavity can't drain out the hole that's in the shoulder. So absolutely zero blood tracking. So make sure you work on your regular tracking skills while you're out hunting. And you all have a good day. Enjoy your hunting season, and I'll keep up with you. And remember, this was the Muzzy HBX for the crossbow, and I guess this is the HB for regular ones. And resharpen it with your Lansky. I use this thing all the time. I swear to God, I love this thing. I pretty much sharpen all my knives with it now. I sharpen my regular knives, my hunting knives, but I'm not going to cover that anymore here. But you all have a good day.